What's up, guys? It's Jay from COI. So, I just wanted to talk about the economic side of the coronavirus right now. First, I wanted to talk about the price gougers, the douchebags. There's a guy in Tennessee named Matt Colvin. He's one of a couple people who've done this. Matt is kind of the poster of of this whole thing. So him and his brother went all around the state buying up hand sanitizer and cleaning supplies and disinfecting wipes, things like that. Buying like Dollar Trees, dollar stores, these kind of, small retail shops out of these products. Then they would take them onto Amazon, eBay, and they would, raise the price by up to like 100, 200%. They were selling some hand sanitizers for like $60. Same thing you bought for like $5. So anyway, Amazon, eBay caught on to this and like, no, you're price gouging. We're shutting down your store. So he complained about it, and then this gained media attention. And once everybody was paying attention, um, he's starting to get investigated because yes, that is price gouging and it's illegal. Um, it has gone as far as he has been receiving death threats and he has made this apology. And look, I don't really advocate for anyone to receive death threats, but for this guy, yeah, he should. He definitely should. And then essentially, though, once the feds started investigating this case, he decided to donate his massive overstock to try to, I guess, gain some good grace points with them. Other people who are in this is someone like Alex Jones, who Alex Jones is pawning his colloidal silver infused toothpaste, basically. And he says this toothpaste, it kills the coronavirus point blank range. No, it doesn't. Um, and none of it does. And I've seen a few other like televangelists talking about they have some form of silver. They all think like this is like the magic bullet. I don't remember when the coronavirus got called the werewolf, but apparently it's a werewolf because they're all trying to solve it with silver. Um, but anyway, he was Alex Jones is ordered to stop that as well. So with the economy though, it gets worse than that. There's these scumbags and they're kind of one-offer people that do we expect anything more out of someone like Alex Jones? Of course not. That's he profits off of people's panic. He's made his whole career off of fear and panic. But the big concern and the real panic does come when we look at the stock market. We look at what the Fed has done. And all of this at the request, I would say, angry request by the Trump administration. So we started off, the market was volatile, it was crashing. This was last week. They put $500 billion into the market, and that was Wednesday. So then on Friday, they were like, oh no, that's not enough. And they put $1.5 trillion into the market. Now that caused a little bit of an uptick. And if you actually look, the uptick lasted for about an hour. So to stabilize our markets right now, it's going to cost us $1.5 trillion per hour, basically, because soon after that hour, it continued to drop, right? Well, then Sunday rolls around and the Fed introduces zero interest and quantitative easing of $700 billion, which quantitative easing is basically like another form of a bailout. So ultimately, Monday, before the stocks opened, we had already dumped $2.7 trillion into the market. When the stocks opened, they had to stop it. They had to hit that pause button because they were crashing so hard. We've dumped $2.7 trillion into something and it's not helping at all. This is to me incredibly worrisome because the people who are in charge and the people leading this country, they're in with all the elitists, all the establishment, and they only know one thing, and that is give money to wealthy people. They'll fix it. The, I question, honestly, as this has progressed, I've always assumed that your average politician knows jack shit about real America. But I had the idea that they at least knew what was going on as far as Wall Street is considered. I'm just a jack up radio guy who does podcasts on the side, and I can tell you that over 70% of our economy is powered by consumerism. Once consumerism is up, our markets go up. It's that simple. There's nothing more to that. So my fix for this whole thing is a UBI, the emergency UBI that Tulsi Gabbard had introduced, which is $1,000 to every adult American for 6 months. And do you know how much that would cost? Under $1 trillion. Yeah, could have saved a lot of money. Instead, they took 2.7 trillion and just wasted it. They just burned it. Who cares? So, update on this. As I was getting ready to do this story, the news has been coming in. Apparently, Tulsi and I were right. Like, I'm taking credit for Tulsi. Like, I was in on it. But no, I have been speaking for longer than this about how a UBI would save this situation. Kamala Harris, the bleeding heart liberal Democrat, she said all American families should get a UBI of up to $500. Because, that's what people need. Especially when they're losing their job. And, oh, by the way, losing their health care. Medicare for all would have fixed that. Um, yeah, $500, that's going to fix it, right? It astounds me how just the different worlds we live in. When she thinks $500 per family, up to, by the way, up to $500 per family is gonna solve something. I mean, what if she, orders a coffee? What's that, $50? I don't know how much it costs. Yeah, they, they have no clue. They have no clue. No, I will say this on the other side, Mitt Romney. And this, by the way, if you're a Democrat, this shows you how far right the Democrats are. Kamala Harris, up to $500 per family. Mitt Romney is actually calling for the same UBI as Tulsi Gabbard, which is, like I said, $1,000 per month per American. Mitt Romney's right. That's what we should do. More breaking news on the whole UBI thing because that's just apparently popping off right now. Apparently, somebody sat down and was like, hey, this is how we could actually fix our economy. It's not just handouts. uh, Donald Trump has now addressed that they're going to try to do that. I guess he's in the talks or works with Steve Mnuchin. They're all on this to create a temporary UBI. Let me tell you this. Let me just tell you this. If Donald Trump does this and he gets his passed where there's a temporary UBI of $1,000 per month per adult American, and by the way, Steve Mnuchin even said, like, look, if you make like $1 million, you're not included in this. I'm gonna have a hard time not being a Republican. I really am. Like, I'm a Bernie Sanders progressive, but god damn it, like, you got the Democrats who are just. I'm always confused by the Democratic ideology. Like, we had Joe Biden on the debates saying, basically advocating for open borders, but yet on the other hand, which I'm not a fan of, but yet on the other hand, cutting Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid. Like, where are you? What's your identity? And right now we have Republicans in the Trump administration, and the GOP alone is acting far more left wing. Kamala Harris and her up to $500 bullshit. And you got Trump saying, yeah, we're gonna try to get the UBI for $1,000 a month per American, per adult American. I mean, that's a Tulsi Gabbard plan. And if you want to go further back, it's an Andrew Yang plan, which, you know, I say to Tulsi because it's an emergent. Her thing is like 6 months. We should do this. But if he gets this done, Donald Trump wins presidency for the next 4 years. I mean, he that would be the biggest thing, the biggest boon he could do. And I've talked about this before, but there's a lot of people who are going to have to be at home. And a lot of people who are going to purposely stay home if they're like, okay, I'm going to get, there's three of us or two of us living in this house. We get $2,000, $3,000 per month. I don't need to work. I'll quarantine myself. I'll stay home. I'm not freaked out about it. I'm not hoarding my money because it's what a lot of people are doing right now. I know I'll get this check. Well, fuck it. I'll shop on Amazon. I'll order my groceries on Walmart. I'm gonna spend my money. Not to mention that will really really fight the curve. It will stop the curve, so to speak. Um, it will be very productive for social distancing and for stopping the spread of this virus. So at the end of the day, Donald Trump looks like the man. He did everything that needed to happen during this crisis. Now, I'm not saying he's done it yet. He hasn't. And who knows what's going to actually fall through. I would, and I'll tell you what, if they're smart, and this is what I said, Tulsi Gabbard, if the Democrats liked Tulsi Gabbard, this is what the Democrats should have done on Friday. They should have picked up her UBI plan, put it in that plan, and said, this is what we're doing. No Republican would vote against it. Not right now. Everyone's watching that. People are incredibly tuned in on what our government's doing, and if the government denied them that, oh, a lot of Republicans turning Democrats. That's what they should have done, but that's not how they do. Democrats are so stupid politically. Instead, now it looks like the Republicans are pulling that trick. And by the way, since all this talk about UBI has come into play, our stock markets are up 1,000 points. Oh, I should say Dow. Dow is up 1,000 points. It's not even, it's all speculative. Is how the markets work. And when people feel more comfortable, there's more spending, and that causes a more insurgence of investors. I I don't know how it's that complicated. I'm sure you get into the fine details, it would blow my mind. I don't doubt that. But at its base, at its principle, this is how we fix it. And it looks like that's what they're doing, which I'm incredibly surprised. When I had this video typed out, they were not doing that. And so I was going to sit here and bash the government for not doing it. But hey, I can't say. And by the way, I'm just seeing it now. Mnuchin's plan would inject $1 trillion into the economy. So, from the math that I've done on this, that would be like around, and you have to excuse me on this, but between 4 to 6 months of $1,000 per American adult a month. Um, uh, they do this, it would be huge. It really would. It would be massive. Is it Medicare for all? No, but it is. Um, it's what the people need right now. It really is. It's what we all need. Anyway, guys, that's it for me. Next time I do this show, which may be tonight or tomorrow, who knows? I might be wearing a red hat. I'm kidding. No, but I mean, look, I will say this: if they do, I have the utmost respect for the Trump administration on the economy side of this. I will say that. I can't, we can't excuse the fact that we had no tests ready, that we had 2, 3 months to prepare for this, and all that was wasted. You can't really excuse that, but you have to say, look, in a crisis, the man's swinging. I don't want to give him credit before it happens, though, so let's be fair to that. Anyway, guys, curious what you guys think about all this. Your thought about this temporary UBI, if you think it'll work. What your thoughts are. You guys are doing okay. I hope everyone out there listening to this is safe, healthy, fine, or bored. Anyway, thanks a lot, guys. Take care.